Hi, everybody. I haven't done a live for a couple of days, and I always feel that I'm missing out on you girls, and I need to contact and I need to be with you. So here I am. It's a beautiful morning in Australia. I just wanted to say to you today, and I really, just pop a hello in the box below if you can see that I'm here, and say hi, Denise, I'm here, and then I know that you're here, and I'm actually not talking to myself. But for everybody that's joining me for the first time today, and you might not know who I am, or you might not have seen me live, my name is Denise Deelwoud, obviously, and I am the founder and the creator of our group, and I'm also the founder and creator of Living Beyond Grief, my 8-week program, which takes you from heartache to happiness within 8 weeks. It's a very powerful program. And I absolutely, honestly believe that there is nothing out there like it. Nothing compares to it. Because we're not healing your grief. Heal you. You have to heal. So my program, and if you choose to work with me, we work on you, not your grief, because it's your life. It's, the rest of your life is what you've got. That's all you've got. So sit back, relax. If you've got any questions, let me know, and we'll take it from there. I'm just looking to see, we've got quite a few of you that have joined us. So hello, everybody. Just say a hello in the comments below, and I know that you're here. So today I really wanted to talk about fear. What is fear? If you look at fear, a lot of people say it's false evidence appearing real. It face everything and run. But fear is such a normal human reaction that we have to life. And especially after we become a widow, after you lose your husband, the fear of your future without him is overwhelming. It is daunting. It is, what is my life going to look like? Where am I going? Who am I? It's the fear of your future. It's the fear of being alone. It's the fear of your finances, because now you have to look after yourself. You haven't got that person, that extra person there that's got your back and that's helping you through your life and your finances, and everything's together. So for the first time, really, you are on your own, totally on your own. And you might have been on your own previously before you got married, but now it's different. Now it's different. You're a lot older. You've got a lot more at stake. You've got your kids, you might have grandkids, and you've got this whole family network that you're trying to hold together. And I remember when Martin passed away, how petrified I was of my future. I didn't know how I was going to live on my own. I had never lived on my own ever. And looking back, I'm so glad and so grateful that I conquered my fear, that I faced my fear and did it anyway. Did I want to? No. Did I want to stay wallowing in my grief? Yes. Did I want to stay in the pain? No. But I even had the fear, and just type a yes in the comments if you've got this as well. But it's actually quite irrational, but it is a fear. I had the fear of letting go of my grief, because I thought that if I let go of my grief and my pain, that somehow I would be letting go of Martin. And I know a lot of my clients, when we start working together, have exactly the same fear. They say, but Denise, what if I do find joy again? What if I do let go of my grief? Am I going to forget my husband? And the answer is no. You will never forget your husband. But what you need to let go of is your fear of moving forward, because that keeps you paralyzed, absolutely paralyzed. And it keeps you uncomfortable in your comfort zone, if that makes sense to you. Even though right now you're probably thinking, well, Denise, I don't want to stay in this holding pattern of grief, because that's how it really is. It's a holding pattern for very much longer. But you don't know how to make that next step because you fear. And this is, when I say you fear, you're not actively afraid. It's not like you're watching a horror movie and you're going, oh, I'm scared. It's a very underlying subconscious fear. So you're consciously unaware that you even are afraid to move forward. Fear comes masked in many, many, many ways. Fear is procrastination. Fear comes masked as I'll be okay, I'm doing okay. Fear comes masked that I've been in my grief journey for 4 years now and I'm feeling a lot better. But you're not there yet, but you will get there. That's your fear holding you back for taking decisive, quick action. It was only when I really came to the realization and I realized that I was paralyzed by fear and that my fear of moving forward was holding me back. It was holding me back from healing. It was holding me back from my life. It was keeping me away from my children and my grandchildren because I feared showing them my emotions. I didn't want them to see that I was in fact hurting, that I was falling to pieces. So I put my mask on and I pretended everything was okay. And are you doing the same thing? Are you doing exactly the same thing? Just type a yes in the comments below if you're doing exactly the same thing, because fear gets into us. It gets into every part of our body after we lose our husbands, because life changed. The minute you lost your husband, the minute you became a widow, your life forever changed. Yeah, you forever changed. It just is. You can't turn back the clock. You can't bring him back. We can't be and live that old life anymore. But what keeps you from moving forward and healing you is fear. Nothing else but pure fear. What is it going to take you to cross that bridge of fear? What is it going to take you to actually step onto the bridge and then start your journey? You know, you can say, well, I'm going for counseling, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but how is it healing you? Is it actually healing you from within? I went for counseling for many, many years. A lot of my clients have gone for counseling for many, many months or years. And counseling's great, therapy's great, grief share groups are fantastic, but that's just sharing your story. And that still keeps you in your fear. I hope you can see that, because it's only when you have the courage to look deep within yourself that any change can happen in your life. It's only when you have the courage to put your hand up and say, I need help, that any change happens in your life. While you're trying to do it on your own and you're muddling along and you're going year in and year out, day in, day out, month in, month out, nothing really is changing. You might think it is changing, but it's not really changing. I was on a call yesterday with a client yesterday, and before we started working together, she said to me, she said, Denise, I've come a long way. My husband passed away. I don't know if I even need to work with you because, I've come a long way. And I said to her, all right, how long have you been grieving? How long since your husband passed away? She said 3 years. I said, so in that 3 years, what has changed in your life? Where are you right now? That's been 3 years. And she said to me, well, I'm feeling a little better and I still can't make decisions about whether I should move forward or whether I should sell the house or whether I should stay here. I'm looking at maybe finding another job. I'm feeling a little bit more confident about finding a job. I said, that's 3 years of your life that you can never get back. Why haven't you made a decision to sell the house? Oh, she said, I'm not ready. I said, well, when will you be ready? If not now, when? And she realized very quickly that she was in fear. And even though she had made these little steps along the way, it had been 3 years of making tiny little steps and waiting for time. Because she believed that time is healing her. So it's been 3 years already. So she's feeling a little better than what she did when her husband passed away. You cannot wait for time, and you cannot waste your life. And I say that with absolute love. You cannot waste another day of your life, because all you've got is you, and all you've got is your life. How you choose to live your life is entirely up to you. It's your choice. When I realized that, you know what, if it is to be, it's up to me. And I put my big girl panties on and I stepped into my joy journey, and I started doing what it took to heal me, not my grief, to heal me from the inside out, to rediscover who I was. Because I bet a lot of you out there like me have no idea who you are. Yeah, I got married young, met Martin when I was 16, got married when we were 18, had my first daughter Chiquita when I was 20, turning into 21. So I never had and never ever did ever live on my own. I'm an only child, so I've got no brothers, sisters, or anything like that. I'm an only child. So I went from my mum's house to my married house. Hey, that's what we did back in the 70s. You know, it was perfectly normal. We had our kids young, and we started our life together without a thought or any fear about where we're going or what we're going or what we're not doing. Fast forward to after 32 years, or really 35 years of being together, when Martin passed away, I didn't know how to live on my own. I didn't know how to be. I didn't know who I was. Because when I married Martin, I was a young 18-year-old. Now I was 52 when Martin passed away. So as a 52-year-old woman, I came to the realization that I had never, ever lived on my own, ever in my life. But what even scared me even more was the fact that I didn't know who I was. Who was I? As an 18-year-old and 52-year-old are two different people. But in those 32, 35 years that when I were together, we grew together as one person. So the fear of actually shedding who I thought I was keeping me stuck in my grief. I was hanging on to my past, as all my clients do, and we all do. We don't want to let it go. But we have to release that fear. You have to release your fear. And you have to go, okay, it's like jumping into a pool in the deep end. You've got to just hold your nose and jump. I invested in myself. I invested thousands of dollars in myself, in my personal growth, in my self-growth, in stretching and growing me as a person. I invested thousands in my education. I invested, you know, I'm still investing thousands in me. And that is how you grow as a person. You have to be prepared to put you number one. You as number one. Now, I know as women, we are conditioned not to put ourselves first. That is because we're nurturers. We take care of everybody else. Everybody. We don't take care of ourselves. You nursed your husband. You nursed your kids. You know, when your husband fell ill, you were there for him. Are you putting yourself first? Or are you putting yourself last? It's so important now, more than ever, ever, ever in your life, to put yourself first, to heal yourself. Because you see, grief doesn't heal. No matter what people say, it takes time, give it time, 5 stages of grief, all that stuff. The love you have for your husband, you will never, ever lose. Even if you get remarried, he will always have that special spot in your heart, yeah? But you have to heal you. You have to be able to look back at your life with love, not pain. And that's the difference in healing you or healing your grief. Grief is an emotion. You can't heal laughter, you can't heal sadness, as you can't heal grief. But you can heal you. Can you heal you on your own? No. You can't do the work that it takes on your own. Why can't you do it on your own? Why can't you heal grief on your own? Why can't you heal your grief on your own? Simple, because you only know what you know. I can put it no other way. You can read books. You can do whatever you want to do to heal yourself. You can go, well, I'm going for a walk today. I'm going to go to yoga. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to start eating properly. That's all great. That's fantastic. That really is. That's a step in the right direction. But true healing has to come from within you. And to do that, it's you're unpeeling a lot of protection, a lot of onion rings around. You know, I always say, imagine yourself as an onion. You're the core in the middle, and you've got all the layers of protection. Those are the onion rings that you've put around yourself, just like an onion. When you start healing yourself and you start doing the inner work it takes to heal yourself, those onion rings those layers start being peeled away. When you peel those away, there's more stuff underneath. You think, oh, but hang on, I've just cleared this, now there's more stuff. I did that for years. That's how my clients heal themselves really quickly. It's a journey. It's a journey into you, and it's a journey that you step on and you don't ever leave, because it becomes your new way of life. You know, when I work with my clients and when I work with myself too, because I'm on a journey too. I'm on a journey that's never stopped. I stepped on the journey after Martin passed away. I always was interested in self-development. I used to read Tony Robbins' books and all that type of thing. I realized that the counseling and the therapy wasn't working. I then dived deep into the self-development world, very deep, because I knew that I had to heal from within. And I invested in myself. I invested in going to seminars, going to, you name it, I've invested in it. I became a certified life coach and now a grief coach. That's all I do. I further my education all the time. But why do I do that? Because I want to become a new me. Because we never ever get there. I hope you can see that. You never ever arrive. So for all the ladies that have joined my program, they've started and embarked on a journey, their journey of life. Don't let fear hold you back. Fear is what keeps you stuck. Fear is what holds you back from moving forward with your life. If I had allowed, and if my clients had allowed fear to hold them back, they wouldn't have healed so quickly. So please don't let fear stop you from living your best life, because it is just your life. It is your future. I do what I do because I'm passionate about it, because I know the importance, and I know from the bottom of my heart how fantastic it is to be able to step into your joy journey. Even though you've had such a great loss, you've had such a great knock in your life. And that's regardless of your age. What really breaks my heart, and it really does, is when I have a lady that says, yes, she's going to join my program, she's going to work with me. And then fear steps in and she says, no, I've changed my mind. And sometimes I can help them through their fear, but sometimes the fear just overwhelms and takes over. And that really breaks my heart, because I can't serve them. I can't help anybody who is too afraid to take that step. I can help you cross that river of fear, but I can't cross it for you. I had to cross it. The thousands of ladies that I've worked with in my program, and I am working with, have had to cross it. Because once you cross that river of fear, your new journey, your new life is on the other side. But until you cross that river of fear, nothing is going to change. It might seem that you're making little changes, like my client I spoke to yesterday. But when you really nut it out, how much have you really changed? So if you really want to, if you want to speak to me, I've got a few spots available for the next couple of days. Book your breakthrough call with me. It's a free call where I call you. You have absolutely no obligation to do anything. That's where we get together, we have a chat, and we see if we're a match, if my program is for you, because it's not for everybody. And that's okay. It's perfectly okay. You're in the group, which is fantastic. That's a start. But the group doesn't go deep enough into you. It's, I can't work with 5,000 ladies individually. But I can work individually with you, either in my program. So either way, cross your river of fear. Cross it. Don't start crossing the river of fear and get stuck halfway and then turn around and run. Because that keeps you exactly where you are. Nothing's going to change in your life. And I'm going beyond your grief here. I'm really going way beyond your grief. Because your grief, in a lot of instances now, has become your way of life, hasn't it? You think that this is the way you've got to live your life. Now, this is on a subconscious level. You're not consciously going, oh, well, I'm just going to be unhappy for the rest of my life. It has just become a habit. It's become the way you live. You wake up in the morning, you know your husband's not there, and you go through your morning routine, whatever it is. And that's all on a subconscious level, yeah? For things to change, you have to scratch that record. And you have to cross that river of fear. The unknown. And that's scary. The unknown is so scary, especially now, more than ever. It's magnified. Because the unknown is, you don't have anybody that's got your back. So you're stepping into the unknown by yourself, on your own. And yes, that is scary. I had to do it. My clients have to do it. We all have to do it. But do it. Please cross that river of fear. Put your fear behind you. Have the courage. It takes immense courage to overcome your fear. So do you have that courage? Do you have the guts and the balls to create your future? Because it's so easy to remain a victim of our grief. And you're not even consciously aware that you're the victim of your grief. I was the victim of my grief for months. For months, I was the victim of my grief. I wasn't aware that I was the victim. I was just a widow grieving. And I was doing my damnedest to help myself to get out of it. I didn't realize that on a subconscious level, I had become the victim. It was only when I started working with my amazing life coach and grief specialist that I realized, wow, I've been the victim of my grief. So when I say, can you do it on your own? You can for the rest of your life. You can stay where you are in this sense of false security that you're okay, because that becomes your new normal. That has become your new normal. But it's not. There's more. There's so much more for you to live and be and become, regardless of your age. I have ladies in their 80s work with me in my program. So, you know, the excuse of, oh, well, I'm too old now, Denise, or I'm too young. Age doesn't come into your life. Live your best life moving forward. Schedule a call with me. It's a free call. The link is www.livingbeyondgriefandloss. I've just put it up on there now. So it's livingbeyondgriefandloss.com/talk. Click on, obviously not on the one on the screen, but I'll put it in the comments below. Either write that down, or I'll put it in the comments below. Click the link. You'll be taken to my diary, and you'll see all my available times. Choose one. Book your call, and there's a quick questionnaire for you to complete after, which gives me, you know, it's just a rough idea of where you are in your grief journey, and it prepares for the call, for our call together. Click that, and let's talk. The only thing I do ask when you do book your call is that you don't cancel, or that you don't not show up, because I take this really seriously. It's not just another free call. Before we have the call, I go through your application. I say a little prayer for you, and I serve you. I serve you, even though it's a free call. So it's not just a free chat with Denise. I put a lot of love and a lot of time into our calls together. So when you book your call, please make sure that you're going to be there for your call and not to cancel, because when you cancel, you've taken that spot away from somebody else that couldn't perhaps have a spot. I'm looking so forward to connecting with you and helping you cross that river of fear into your joy journey. Step out of your grief journey into your joy journey. Have an amazing night. It's morning here. And I've got an amazing day ahead of me today. I've got some really exciting stuff coming and doing, which I will reveal maybe later. But right now, ladies, thank you so much for joining me. And if you've got any questions, put them in the comments below, and I'll get back to them after today's broadcast. And remember, book your call with me. Let's cross your river of fear. All right, darlings, speak later. Thank you so much for sharing with me today. Love you all. Bye-bye.